This is a little short video to basically let you know that I will be making the energy management video rather soon here, and I want some input, so leave that down in the comments. Other than that, this is a stream highlight, two of them actually, in the I-16 Type 27, and kinda just serve as background material. As well, a normal video gets more attention than a community post or whatever. So I decided to just do it like this, get a little notification out so people actually know what to look out for and know what to ask. And other than that, I will just commentate on the video as I normally do. To start off, well, the J22 just kind of presented himself. He went head on with the LA5 behind me and he didn't pay attention to me, and I could really easily just pick him off. So the deal with this plane is it's highly maneuverable, it rolls pretty decent, it turns really well. The problem is that it's very slow, and the retention also speaks in that regard, because once you go 500, 400 and you start turning, the plane really wants to drop down to that 300 to 350 mark, and it does that relatively quickly. So you want to be careful of that, because you will be a sitting duck relatively fast, and because you can't really build up the speed, it makes it so that it's extremely hard to get out of a deadlock once you get like a guy boom and zooming you. You can't really get out of it, he has to get committed to you, and once he gets committed you can mostly just kill him. The problem is you turn so well that it's very easy for people to just break off, because they see you turn so well, so that it's not a false sense of security where they're like, yeah, I can dogfight this guy, because they can really easily tell that that's not gonna happen, and they will try to extend, and 9 out of 10 times they will succeed extending. In this case I was above the whole pack, which made it so that I could really easily boom and zoom everyone. As you can tell right here, this D520 is trying to pitch up for me. It's not gonna happen, I have too much altitude on him, and he just did a little chase with the guy he was killing, and I can just keep going up. And this thing stays highly maneuverable, so I can, even at lower speeds, I can just pull over these guys and drop back down on them. The P40 tried to pitch up for me, stall himself out, very easy kill. It required a bit of setup, but easy kill nonetheless. This guy tried to pull head on, he just doesn't have the energy to do that, so I can just shoot a little burst at him, pull back off, because I don't want to go head on with him when I have this much of an advantage. It's not that I'm much faster than these guys at this point, but I'm so much more maneuverable that it's basically impossible for them to get out of my guns. He got pretty close. I will just loop up, because if he tries to follow this, I will beat him at low speed. So if they try to fight me at these speeds, they will die. As you can tell, wasn't even close. Well, I got pretty close, but he was still going up and I was already going back down. And then this guy pulls into my guns as well. Once I start diving on these guys, once this thing outruns you, there is very little you are going to do. J22 is still above me, but a J22 is not a good plane. It's not that fast, it doesn't climb that well. The only thing it has going for it are the guns, so if I stay clear of those, he is basically dead. And here he has the right idea to play energy, because he was quite a bit faster than me. The problem is that this thing handles so well at low speed. I think he completely underestimated it. Of course the J22 is also very poor in the vertical. He went vertical in a way that I could close the distance relatively fast, and because I handled so much better at low speed, there was no chance of him dodging or him getting out of the way. If it was reversed, if I did the same thing to him, he wouldn't have been able to pull up. If I was a little bit slower and a little bit lower, he would have gone away with it, but that's why it's so important to actually know what energy your enemy is at and what the enemy plane can do, which is something I will refer to a lot in the upcoming video. Well, not upcoming, I will be making it. I'm not sure how long I will spend on it or how much time I will spend on it, because it's a very extensive topic and I want to do it right. So I will double check everything with multiple people as well. Multiple people that I know how to play, because I don't want to get misinformation and I want to make it as in-depth as possible without making it 20 minutes. I want to make the graphics somewhat appealing, like the last one, like they were kind of crappy with the cutout frames of the 109s, the P51s and the Spitfires, but it gets the point across, and that's something I want to focus on. And I don't have the most time at the moment because I'm working full time right now, and I'm just dead lately. My energy levels have been relatively low, and trying to sound less dead than I do right now when I'm in that state is virtually impossible for me. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to make half-ass videos, I'd rather make less of them and then 2 of them that are pretty shitty. There you have it. That's why I haven't been uploading that much. Hope you don't mind too much. I know most people don't, but I'm just saying it anyway, because I do feel kind of crappy for not putting out anything, because I know that there's a lot of you that actually wait for these videos and like them. So I want to keep putting out as many as I can without overworking myself. Of course, YouTube itself isn't really like, you don't really overwork yourself with YouTube, at least not at the rate I do it at. It's just the little extra things that kind of pile up on top of each other. So there are things I eliminate from my daily life, and this is one of the first things I will eliminate because it's just not a top priority. I haven't really played this game for 2 weeks straight now. I haven't had any motivation, which is also the reason why it took me so long to even start the video I was trying to work on, the energy video. Because it's just like I have to sit down, I have to start doing it. I finished school now, I'll finish uni, so it's not that bad now. I just have to record for a little bit. I will have the next 2 days off, well, after Sunday. And then I will start putting more time into the actual video again. And I will see when I can get it out. I can't promise anything, but once I start it, it's bound to get finished. I'm not someone that stops halfway in. Once I start, it will be finished. I just don't know when that's gonna happen, and I don't know how much time I will sink in on it. But even if it's unreleased, if it's like completely, well, not unfinished, but if I'm missing like small things and I just lose all motivation altogether, I will just release that. So I'm not gonna leave you all blue-balled on that. It will come in a timely fashion, and just look forward to it. It will come relatively soon. And there you go, that's 7 kills. Yeah, I just had to sneak that in there. 7 and an assist actually, and then the game before this, I will show right now, which was a bit sadder, but it was a carry nonetheless. And here you go with the result screen, because people actually care about that. As per usual, I'm not researching anything. Well, I'm researching at tier 6, so that doesn't really matter. And here's the game before this. Again, I have a lot of energy, and here is, it's like a matter of making a decision. Because I can chase this P400, I'm not going to catch him. There's a 0 chance I'm going to catch him. The problem is, if I dive below him, he will easily boom and zoom me. So now I'm thinking, can I kill the whole furball that's below me before the P400 comes back and absolutely stomps me? The answer is, I don't know, but I'm going to try. He's just going to run away, and the longer I wait, the harder this furball is going to become. The thing with a furball is, the longer it gets time to regain energy, the harder it becomes to kill them. And here I'm just looking at the players, because I want to know what they're flying, and I want to know how experienced they are. Because a very experienced pilot is an absolute, well, it's a chore to fight in this plane. It really is. So I'm going to be taking taps on him, and you can see that he's just turning around, and at this point I'm debating if I shoot. One F2A goes down, and at this point I'm like, those guys on the deck are going to die. So what I want to do is kill this furball before it can regain its energy. Because a slow furball, when you're in this thing, is an absolute, well, it's a joy to fight. Because you just slam all of them. Of course, you don't want to compress and overspeed, so I'm going 0% throttle right now. And I'm going to be picking targets. One goes down, friendly goes down as well. I-16 is top priority because he can hang with me in the dogfight. He is out of the game, and now I basically have the upper hand. I have a lot more energy. I will go for the J22 or J21 because he is presenting himself. Very easy shot. Pull out of the Spitfire's guns. Go up because I have more energy than them and I want to be slow. Spitfire doesn't have the shot anywhere near, or he doesn't have the shot anytime soon, so I can easily go for him and then turn back on the Spitfire. So he doesn't have any energy, he's just falling out of the air, and this thing turns well enough to capitalize on him. Even though he was in front of me, I could easily do a 180 and still be behind him. And now the problem with this plane comes in, and that's when people start boom and zooming you. I have a J20 as well as the P400, and the P400 is pretty fast. It's 2.3, it's a little beyond me, but it's definitely a lot faster. So it's gonna be a little bit of a pain to fight. The J20 isn't too much of a problem, it's just a combination of the J20 and the P400 that is gonna make, well, the problem here. I don't have a flap, but I will stay around 300 and I will be able to turn relatively well compared to these guys. He's gonna be diving in, so what do? Is I use the ground to turn. If he tries to follow that, he will compress, hopefully maybe go into the ground. He'll do something, but all I'm doing right now is just stay as low as I can, trying to get them impatient and just dodge their shells, because there's no reason for me to go head on with them. All I have to do is break off and I die. So that's something I don't want. J20 coming in. P400 is running away from me. I'm looking at the J20, he's extending, so I wasn't too worried about him. So I'm going to be climbing towards the P400 so I can regain some altitude. And then the J20 comes back. He doesn't have the best kind of gun, so I'm not too worried about him. I almost ram it into the ground. J20 goes vertical, which isn't the right thing to do here. I will bean his engine. He's gonna die from that in a timely fashion, and the P400 has the brilliant idea to go head on with me. I dodge, I neg-G into his shells, and he just goes full commit, and we ram each other. Why did we ram each other? I was dead at that point. He killed my engine, and this thing without an engine is just going to die. So instead of me trying to dodge the head-on and say, I'm not gonna go full commit, if I'm already dead, it's the best trade you can get. And that actually won us the game. So all in all, good game. Well, I left it instantly because, well, it was a stream and I don't want to keep the viewers waiting on an empty game. They want to see me fly. They don't want me. They don't want to see some random idle 2 take off and then head on the last guy. And there you have it. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all very soon.